first experiences that I can recall, not the first one, but pretty close, was in Lumberton, North Carolina. It was the end of my first grade school year, so that would have been 1987. Um, my father would have been at work. He was a night manager for a pizza joint, so he closed a lot. He worked till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning as a rule at that time. My mom had three small sons. I was seven. I was the oldest, and then my brothers were they would have been 2 and 3. Since Lumberton was and is a small town in rural central North Carolina, it's pretty well known for having a depressed economy and for strange disappearances and lights in the sky, even to this day. This particular night, towards the end of that first grade school year, it was dark. It was nighttime. I think, and what I remember is this. Um, we were in our living room. It was a two-story house, and we were all in our living room. And my mom was agitated. She kept going through the living room like she was looking for something, like something was going on. It was very obvious something was wrong. And my brothers and I, and we're just little kids. We're just trying to figure out, how do we help mom be less upset? What's going on? And she stands up, she looks around, she says, "Something is wrong. We have to get out of the house." So she makes us put on our shoes. And we start going towards the door. And we get to the door. She opens the door and she gets us out the door. We get onto the porch. It had a kind of a semi-enclosed front porch in this building. And we look at the front yard, and there's an owl in midair, but not mid-flight. It was kind of oriented to where its face was towards us. Its body was down, and its wings were spread out wide, which is not the stance that you would expect an owl to have taken. It was larger than any owl I've seen in real life. And there's times when my memory says that its eyes were red, and there's times when my memory says its eyes were green. And I blinked, and when I opened up my eyes again, we were back in the house. We were sitting on our couch, which was an old hand-me-down couch that my mom honestly hated. She never liked that couch. We got rid of it shortly after this experience. But she never sat on that couch. She never would have. And so she would not have chosen to sit there. But going from left to right, my mom and then me and then Rick, my middle brother, and my youngest brother, Ed, we're just sitting quietly and silently on the couch. So we just kind of blinked to look around. And my mom said, "Where did this hour go?" And apparently, I asked her years later, and I asked her about this a few times over the years. And there's times that she remembers this memory, and there's times that she doesn't remember what I'm talking about at all, which is interesting in and of itself. But when she does remember it, she remembers that hour being lost. And this is just a thing that was never explained to me.